it's crazy that the Hollywood Reporter is just like typing cuss words in their coverage now. I mean, that's where we're at. Can you imagine them ever doing this like 20 years ago? Absolutely not. Like there's no way they would print that. There's no way that Tom Roth and the CEO of Sony would even say that. 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
But anyways, he says, as you can see at Sony, we aren't messing around. He said, originality is always a risk, but to me, the bigger risk is boring the audience to death with sameness, no balls, no glory. So I actually 100% kind of agree with what he's saying here. Like, I do think the audiences are being bored to death with a lot of sameness. I think clearly Marvel is like showing that it's the same thing. It's,
yes.
Women taking charge. We're seeing that with Star Wars.
Girls MCU, get it done.
Horses female. Basically, I mean, Critical Drinker has literally a whole series on like why modern movies suck, and it has every single he's like, I mean, you just go look at the playlist.
The points are all there. Yeah,
it's like men being like beaten down. It's I don't know. I don't know if I have it up, but because I was trying to like include it in my coverage of this. And I wanted just like a really like quippy thing, but it was like really hard to find like something quippy because it's just like he literally has like a 10 video like video playlist on.
So it's hard to get like a sound bite out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's here's the playlist. I got it here. Their setup and payoffs suck. They're written by children. They're destroying our heroes. The soft reboot, which I think is a huge problem. They teach us awful lessons. Modern actors, we were just talking about. CGI overload. They hate their own fans. The myth. What's this one? The myth of the modern audit. Oh, the myth of the modern audiences,
yeah.
Of course. So like, and yeah, those are all things that every single one of these studios are doing. And it's clearly all the same, and it all sucks. I mean, just look at Obi-Wan Kenobi and look at She-Hulk. I mean, they're really, I mean, like She-Hulk's probably just more in your face, hating you. But it's still kind of the same crappy, like trash writing, destroying your heroes. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi clearly destroys Obi-Wan Kenobi, makes him look out to be an idiot. Makes Darth Vader out to be, it ruins the villains.
The quote that's been standing out in my mind this past week, because you recently just like used it in your article, was the or one of your articles, the Leslie Headland thing, where she was like, oh yeah, I hired writers who didn't even know Star Wars. Yeah. I had a girl texting me before we went even into the writers' room, like, there's Luke and Leia are siblings. What the heck? And it's like, what? That's not something to brag about. Again, 20 years ago, would you have bragged about that? No. Like, no. You want people who care.
Yeah, they need to add, or even if they don't know about it, they need to actually like do the research and figure that out. Like you wouldn't be going up and be like, wait, they're really that way? It's like, no, you would have like gone and done your homework
and watched the movies at least
and known
like,
it. Yeah.
Especially like that also speaks to me, like just with this like a generational labor type gap thing. I don't have the right words for it, so sorry if that sounded a little weird, but like they gosh, what was I even trying to say? I blanked. I'll be back to it. I know I will.
But yeah, I mean, we see this in Rings of Power. Like all of that stuff it's all in there. Like it's all the same. It's Galadriel, basically like taking over, but then she sucks too, because it teaches like terrible. It has like a terrible message. That whole show.
Did I? Oh, I had it. It's like. Oh, right. So that woman, like the writer who didn't know anything about Star Wars, I think that represents a giant generational problem, which is like, why don't you do the work? Because like, if I were her, like this is just me personally, even if they didn't tell, like, let's say tomorrow I got assigned to like, what's something I don't like, John knows a lot about that I don't, Wheel of Time, right? If they said tomorrow, Spencer, you're going to start work on Wheel of Time. I don't know a lot about it, but even if they didn't say you have to read it by tomorrow or watch something by tomorrow, I would still go do it, because I just have, it's the baseline of like a good job is being informed. It's so weird that they need to be like ordered to do that. I don't know. I'm definitely sounding like an old fart, but it's
I don't even think they're clearly not even being ordered, because she's like bragging about how they don't even know any of this stuff, and she's actually going out and hiring people that don't know about Star Wars. And it's like, well, maybe you should get some people who actually know something about the Force, especially when you're doing a show that you're pitching as the Sith basically undermining how they undermine the Jedi or whatever, which it doesn't make any sense anyways, in the timeline they're setting in, because Lucas already showed us that in the prequels. But yeah, so yeah, you should actually have fundamental understanding of how the universe works, maybe some of the major players in the universe, etc., etc.
Just maybe.
But so I definitely think that he's right. I think that there is like a huge sameness that audiences are being bored to death. And I think you see that with the MCU. I think you see that with Star Wars. I think you're seeing that with Rings of Power. I mean, I think all of these shows are very similar, very the same. They all have the same kind of themes, same kind of plot lines, and it's all kind of the same, and it all just sucks as well. And no one wants to watch any of that stuff. They do want to watch like the promise of what it should be, but when they actually sit down and watch it, and it's just like, what am I watching? Like, why am I even doing this?
Like, why did I do this?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lauren Connor, who writes over at the Park Place, he is literally calling on people like boycott Star Wars now. And this is the guy who was just like 2 weeks ago was like trying to, maybe it was like a month ago, I was on stream with him, and he was trying to like write a script, trying to actually reconcile like the sequel trilogy with everything, and I'm just like, you can't do it. You can't. He was actually trying to, like, he was still trying to figure out a way to like do all that stuff with the World Between Worlds and everything like that. Now he's like, after season 3, he's just like, just boycott this crap. It's just absolute garbage.
Thank you. Wake up, everyone. Get real woke.
So I thought that was I was like, man, that's like a hard turn right there. This guy is like literally trying to salvage this stuff like just a month ago, and then after watching Mando season 3, he's just like, I'm out. Like, and telling other people to
you had a dieharder going, nope.
Yeah.